Hey, Balance Nation, it's Dr. Anthony G. Beck, and I know it's been a while since I've been on here with some of my live streams. I've been working on some pretty amazing stuff when it comes to some availability of the educational programs under the movement That Which is Balance protocol. And so you guys will be seeing that coming forward here pretty soon. I'll put on my capitalist hat. But anyways, today I wanted to just briefly share with you a personal story about something that, as you guys all know, I like to do my due diligence and verify things before I put them out as best that I possibly can. I am infallible and not perfect and not always right. That's right, I said it, contrary to popular belief. So anyways, let's just get right into it. We're going to talk about sex trafficking and a lot of things that are hidden, if you will, right under our noses in plain sight. So I want to bring your attention to some things. Okay, so as you guys all know, this is August 2020, and the world is still mired in what I have affectionately called a hoax, which is the entire coronavirus SARS-CoV-2 / COVID-19 debacle. Okay, so you guys probably realize that the last video I did was on my last video of COVID-19. And if you want to go back and watch that, it's over at youtube.com/balance protocol. Now, of course, these videos that I'm doing like this one here will be available over there. I'm also simultaneously putting them over on my bitshoot.com account as well, because, you know, YouTube is a leftist run globalist promoting censorship, anti-free speech platform. But right now we still have eyes on for a lot of things, so you can get this video and other videos that I've done over there. I haven't put up my little lower thirds yet for my bitshoot.com /balance protocol. You can go over there and watch those things too. And in the meantime, I'm also working diligently on, like I've been telling you guys for the last few months, it's a big project to launch your own platform. And that's actually what I'm doing. So that is still being worked on, and we'll go to beta on that here pretty soon. And just to let you guys know, it's a large expense, both in time and money. And I am going to invite you guys to contribute a little bit to help fund that, plus the legal things that come along with it. Because as you go around these typical channels out there, you get all kinds of lawsuits, which I'm already have a few that I'm working with right now behind the scenes, because I'm giving you guys insight and revealing stuff. So anyways, needless to say, the thing about this comes down to, I said this whole COVID-19 stuff is quite the hoax. Is SARS-CoV-2 a real thing? Yes, of course it is. It was a weaponized exosome that was pushed out into circulation from China. Okay, from China. I said all this stuff all the way back in March. Back in March, you guys can, again, you can go over to the YouTube videos and watch them all. And I just like to remind people that if you're just now watching me, or you're here in Balance Nation and seeing me on live stream for the first time, I've got a rich history of calling the shots. And I don't say that with any arrogance or boasting. I'm just reporting the facts, man. So when it comes to all of it, okay, the whole mask hole thing, the joke of that, people actually wearing those and thinking that they mitigate virus, is absolutely preposterous. We've known it for decades and decades and decades, which is why we haven't talked about those before until here just recently at the end of all the other things. Do your part, stay at home, save lives, and then it's lower the curve and all these other kinds. It's just all a suppression thing. And we all know that it has to do with what's going on in the world and the attack of the elites that are under scrutiny right now. Under scrutiny because of one of the things that's got a lot more press these days. Of course, the mainstream media isn't covering it much, and that is sex trafficking, the problem of sexual exploitation of children in particular. Now, some of you may or may not know, I'm a proud father of three, count them, 1, 2, 3 princesses who I love and adore with the very being of my body. And being in the daddy business is the best thing that I ever have. And I really firmly believe that fatherless homes are the central to the problem that we have. And so the thing is, I take it very personally. So one of the things for me is I grew up in the dirty south of North Carolina and Georgia, and we just have a different kind of culture down there as we grew up. And the funny thing is we look after our kids in a different way than soft California and the Pacific Northwest and New England states. Now, I'm not saying all you guys that live up there aren't great parents. That's not what I'm saying. So easy does it. What I'm saying is there's certain things that I'm seeing now that it's just blowing my mind that people are not realizing were a thing. Now, my family, we live just miles away from Disney, and so of course Disney's got all kinds of its mixed history and stuff like that. A lot of that, of course, these days is coming out. That's just bogus. And I'm not going to defend or make excuses for things that are bad or that challenge my confirmation bias. We all have confirmation bias. And this is why I always tell everybody, don't believe a damn word I say for the sake of me saying it, even though I'm a credible expert and all this other kind of fun stuff. But I ask you to just look at my track record and of getting it right. So if I'm right 95% of the time, then it's probably a good place to look. And so the point here is that I want you guys to understand that evil does exist. If there's one reason why I ultimately state very candidly that I am a Christian, I believe in God, is because I've seen evil. And I've seen it a lot in my life when it comes to various things. And being a physician of going on 27 years now, I hear a lot. You think your bartender and your hairdresser get to hear some stuff. I tell you one thing, man, being in treatment rooms and in consultation offices, I got to hear a whole lot of things. So, point of the matter is I know that bad things happen because there will always be bad people. There's always going to be opposition in all things. And there's a lot of evil in the world. And one of the biggest things that has to do with sex trafficking and that carnal stuff. Now, I am no spring chicken, nor am I a saint. My whole thing is that I believe that consenting adults of whatever gender, there's only two, can do what they want to do together. That's just my particular feeling on it. And I don't want to know about it. I don't need to know about it. It should be kept private. It's your own business, and it should be legal and kept to yourself. That's really how that works, right? So I'm not coming off as some purist or anything like that by any means. But what I want to do is state an absolute, and that is you cannot ever, under any circumstance, do anything sexual with an underaged individual. Period. Full stop. So then comes the term pedophilia, right? So this attraction to kids, the sexual attraction to kids. It is a mental illness, period, full stop, okay? It is wrong, period, full stop. There's no normalizing it. It's not a sexual orientation. It is a mental illness. It is an evil, full stop. That's it. And, I will absolutely fight with all my fervor to make sure that it doesn't get normalized. And of course, in the alphabet soup community of LGBTQ, XYZ, pedophilia, they're wanting to add the P into it, and they have. They've openly done that. Like I said again, consenting adults, regardless of the two genders that they are in, can act as they want in the privacy of their own home. So I'm not judging that. There's no phobias. The point is, though, is children are off limits, okay? And the bottom line here is you see the LGBTQ alphabet soup community, and if you guys get pissed at me saying that, I really don't care. It's the silliest dang construct that I've ever seen in my life. It's literally everything except, blonde-haired, blue-eyed white male. So I'm evil, right? So just chalk me up as that, I guess. But I'm very serious in talking about this because when it's accepted into a community, that normalizes it or seeks to make it okay, then they become guilty of everything that goes along with it. Period. Full stop. Okay, you cannot have one without the other. It's plain and simple. Okay, that's the way that works. There's no cleaning that up. So you have to look at that under that particular scrutiny with boldness. And I'm not concerned about the backlash I'll get. I'm sure on this, all the people that support that kind of fun stuff and all the mean things that get said out there. And I've got death threats and threatened. And that stuff, doesn't faze me. I take it all seriously, but I live my life in such a way to where my situational awareness is always at a heightened place. And there won't have to be worried about, finding who done it, because they'll be laying dead at my feet, because I always constitutionally carry wherever it's legal and lawful to do so. And I encourage everyone to do it too. It's also why I've also told everyone here in Balance Nation to invest a couple $100 in a body cam. Always have it on you. Really important thing. So anyways, the world is all caught up in the Marxist terrorist support ruse known as Black Lives Matter also. And there's a lot of attention on that. Meanwhile, so if you actually go to, let me show you a very interesting thing, is if you go to Facebook and you actually type in hashtag Save the Children, you'll see we just got a little over 400,000 people are talking about this, okay? But if you go here to, hashtag BLM, okay, look at that, 1.8 million, okay? So what a significant difference when it comes to top of mind awareness at this current time, okay? So when you go to save the, sorry, I'm trying to look at the screen and type at the same time. Come back to that. That hashtag doesn't have near enough traction, okay? But ironically, statistically, we've, just when it came to 2019, missing persons, right? People that disappeared, male under age 21. Of course, this expands into adults and stuff. Over 212,000, just for contrast. Women 235,000. So 400 and some thousand, and this is pretty, even per year. So 400 and some thousand missing people in the United States each year, but yet when we have supposedly 164,000 deaths from this hoax virus, this is a conflated number, which I don't believe for a minute. Look at all what the whole world has come to, grinding to a halt. And look at all the stuff that we've all been mired in, our health and our mindset and our spiritual well-being and our physical well-being. All those things, our relationship well-beings have all been compromised because of the biggest lie ever perpetuated on mankind. So just in contrast, compared to a bigger problem, which is under everyone's nose, which gets no real press from the media, is that of missing and exploited children, missing persons, and sex trafficking. So my point here of doing today's video is to show you something to the extent of where I want to encourage you a mechanism to do your own due diligence. So when you go to Save the Children, this is on Facebook, you'll get to see a lot of these things. Of course, there's a ton of evil on there. So go to the hashtag and see if you can stomach some of these people. Now, if you don't know who this lady is, man, you need to do some homework. And Abramovich and is just vile, right? And all the things I have done my due diligence on and researching all of this kind of stuff, and it's true. It's absolutely true. Now, of course, is there a bunch of crazy things and conspiracies and all that kind of fun stuff? Of course. There's conspiracies all over the place. It's always a conspiracy to do these things because you're not going through normal channels. But is there made up stuff? Is it misunderstood? Well, of course, okay? But it is a real problem. The evidence is real. It's profound, and it's a big problem, okay? So go and do your due diligence. Again, don't believe me. Put the time in, okay? You'll see these all kinds of disturbing videos of these kids being put into these kinds of situations. Okay, when it comes to Hollywood, it is normal fare for them, right? And you can really have your stomach turned and sick. And there's some triumphant stories. There's all kinds of videos that are out there now. I mean, I'm really kind of surprised that Facebook hasn't taken these down yet. You've got all these people like Gaga and all these other people. It's amazing, guys. I mean, it is absolutely profound. And I've hesitated on doing this video because I really wanted to. There's Epstein's Island, and here's what's actually funny. There's a video on of Epstein. We know that Epstein, who didn't kill himself, and big pedophile in the center of all this stuff. When you go to Google Maps and you look at his island, St. James Island, which has the same address as SpongeBob's address in the cartoons. Some of them they have this fake picture of a tennis court there, but when you flick to the other from 2D to 3D or from 3D to 2D, you'll actually see that it's this little shaped area here, which does look very ritualistic. And then the thing is that then there's some video out there, and I didn't compile all this because I didn't want to put it in this video, of people who've gone on the island and who have filmed this, and this isn't what it was either, right? So there's a bunch of stuff, and that dirtbag Chrissy Teigen, she's just vile. Look into it. That's all I'm saying, okay? Do I believe that Pizzagate is real? Yes, I do. For the record, I, Dr. Anthony G. Beck, have done my independent research and investigation of what I've seen, filtered through all the other stuff. Pizzagate is real, okay? The Hollywood elites are doing some very nasty stuff, okay? Now, let me just get to the meat and potatoes of what I want to show you. One of the things that happens out there is that there's this normalization, right? This is why you see these drag queens going to schools and doing reading time, right? And doing little strip teases and stuff like that. And you see them doing it at birthday shows and things. That's all that alphabet soup community normalizing kids into a sexual disorientation and confusing. It's all by design. So one of the things that's out there is one of the moms asked me to look into it because she saw a video some days ago, and it's actually getting some traction. So I'm not the only one showing it, but I wanted to show you guys I do my due diligence. So what I did is a few weeks ago when the new Trolls movie came out, Trolls 3 or whatever, World Tour. Of course, my little girls wanted to watch it. Well, normally what I do is I will watch a movie prior to it. Well, the thing is my wife bought the movie and, was watching it with the girls the first time instead of watching it first and then doing it. And the next thing you know, you got this little, all these little cues that she knows to look at as well that were just very off-putting. And then finally when the boy troll had a baby, she was like, boom. So into the movie. Sorry, girls, can't watch that. We called up, I think it was Vudu or whoever it was, and said, hey, listen, no, or Disney Plus, and credit us back for the movie because it's vile and disgusting. Well, then, of course, with every movie, there's a release of merchandise, and one of them is the main protagonist of the movie, Poppy, is this little doll right here, okay? So one of the things that's very interesting is if you look on this packaging here, you'll see that it is the DreamWorks Trolls World Tour Giggle and Sing Poppy. And it's got supposedly 10 songs or things that she sings and speaks English only, age 4 and up. And if you look all around, and it's a choke hazard, all this other kind of stuff, giggles and sings, and it's always pushing to the tummy. Now, I think it's pretty interesting that it's got a rainbow outfit on. You guys can, think about that as well. And so 10 phrases and songs, okay? And that's all it says. Girls just want to have fun, that kind of fun stuff. And that's it. Only thing is the instruction is pushing the belly. So the thing about it is so I went ahead and purchased it. And so here's the little doll. Okay? And cute, trolls and that kind of jazz. And what happens is when you touch the belly, okay? And it does 10 things. Okay, how about a hug? And then little giggles. Okay, so now what's the interesting thing here, and which is absolute. Sorry, if I touch it, it goes off. Okay, now what it doesn't show on the packaging or on the instruction sheet that comes with it, okay, inside of here, okay, it's got the little manufacturer's little disclosure stuff, and then in here it's got different languages and whatever. Okay, this is all the instructions. Nothing in here talks about or alludes to the other button that's actually on this doll. And the other button is down here on her butt. Down there. So you're thinking, well, what does that got to be? That's got to just be like some kind of, place to, put it together, part of the manufacturing process or something like that. But it's not. It's another noise maker. Okay? Okay, so listen. You can be the person all you want that wants to try to clean that up. There is absolutely no other possible reason or function, okay, that this was on accident. So what did I do? I took the doll and I unscrewed all the screws, popped this head off, disassembled the entire thing. There's an entire computer board and actuator and everything in there specifically designed, because now I'm not a toy manufacturer, okay? I do manufacture nutraceuticals and supplementations and stuff like that. But here's the thing. Everything has a plan and approval. This just wasn't some person who came up with some little thing and it went and put out just hundreds of thousands, if not millions of these without Hasbro saying, oh, yeah, that's a good design. Let's go with that. So multiple people had to say, hey, let's put this button in here and put these kind of sounds. Those sounds have to be recorded. They have to be uploaded onto the little microchip, and all it has to be installed. So it wasn't by accident. It was on purpose. The question is why was it on purpose? This is for age 4 and up, okay? So why in the world does any doll need a button in its crotch, its private parts area, much less one that makes these kind of sounds? I'll tell you why. Because it normalizes touching that area and teaches kids to make that sound. Okay? That's what that's all about. This is how you normalize abuse of children and promote pedophilia with these kinds of dolls, okay? Because you could see the psychological thing that could happen where you give this to a kid and you go, see, she makes this little sound. Do you want me to do that to you and make that little sound? And you see how that works. It's disgusting. It turns the stomach. As a father of 3 daughters, you know it incenses me, okay? So I'm not an idiot. This was on purpose, and this is vile. I bought this at Walmart, okay? So while Walmart is vigilant with their mask hole Nazis trying to protect everybody else's supposed health by this lie of, COVID, under their nose and without their knowledge, apparently, this doll got purchased, distributed, and is now all out there for the world to play with, okay? I can't believe, this is the shocker for me, that Walmart, whoever their purchaser was, the person who okayed that, because to get into Walmart, you guys have watched Shark Tank before. You know how hard it is. People want, hey, I want to sell this thing. I want to get into Walmart. Can you give me the connections? In order for them to get that, there's a process. But evidently, somebody that wasn't aware enough to do that and to take it out of the box and actually see what's this little crotch button that makes sexual pleasure sounds on a kid's toy. That's my point. This is why I'm tying this all into the craziness of our world. Now, Turns out Walmart has pulled this toy. It has already made its this information out there. But I'm doing my part to share with you guys a couple of things. Number one, I will always do my due diligence to go see for myself. I want to make sure it wasn't some doll or some video that was out there that somebody made or did whatever. I want to go find for myself. Go down to Walmart, purchase the doll, bring it home, and there it is. Just showed it to you guys live on camera. So what I want you to do is please share this video with as many people as you possibly can, okay? I don't ever get, well, make this go viral. I don't really care if it goes viral or not. What I want people to know is to be aware, okay, that there are little things out there. This toy can show up at another kid's friend's house. It could show up at a school, a nursery, a daycare, all kinds of places, okay? And so if we're not vigilant and protecting of our children, this is the kind of stuff that happens and creeps in. This is why I believe that we have such a vile state of affairs in this country when it comes to things like that. Okay? So I hope this makes sense to you guys, and you know why I'm doing it. I know when it comes down to certain topics, it gets a little uncomfortable. I'm not uncomfortable at talking about any topic whatsoever. You guys ask me questions, you send me things, you want me to do my research and diligence and report back into it. That's what I do, okay? So I do that with health, I do it with lifestyle, I do it with environment, all the gadgets and gizmos. I do it with other practitioners and bloggers and nutritionists and people that you want me to take a look at, and what about this person's protocol and this, that, and the other. So keep coming. I fuel off of what you ask and request me to look into. And then I come back and I show you and encourage you to do it for yourself and not to take my word for it. Okay? So anyways, listen, be ever vigilant. We need to hashtag save the children. It's far more important than the crap that we see. In this video, I could have gone into the fact that, the Clintons and the Clinton Foundation and all that stuff have been caught red-handed and busted trafficking kids out of Haiti and all these other kind of things, black kids, by the way. And so the whole Black Lives Matter thing is a garbage. It's ruse. They're a terrorist organization. They're vile. Black kid lives don't matter. We know that in the number of ones that are murdered in the womb or partially delivered and then murdered every year. So I'm not doing all that. So what I want to do is make sure I remind you that live in the present, shore up your heart and your mind, and love your kids and appreciate them, and do your due diligence as parents when it comes to looking into things. Always watch movies prior to letting them see them. Look with a more critical eye, and just be smart. All right, guys. Well, love you, Balance Nation, and I'll see you real soon. Again, if you got any questions or comments to the video here in Facebook, go ahead and put that under there. If you're watching this over on YouTube or BitChute and you want to join Balance Nation, please come over to facebook.com/groups/Balance Nation and issue a request to join, and I'll be more than happy to bring you in here and be a part of it. So until next time, love you, Balance Nation. We'll talk to you soon.